Hello, lovelies. You know what? I don't think forgot to flip it. Sorry. Didn't flip it. How is everyone? Come on in. How is everyone? Hi there, Cassie. And there's Yvonne. Pinkies up in Whittier, California, my hometown. So welcome everybody. It is Wise Women's Wednesday. It's my favorite day of the week, pretty much. And then there's other days that are my favorites as well. Hi, Carla. And there's my girl, Helen. Good to see you. There's Marianne. And Julie's in the house. Yay. Come on in. There's Lily from Colorado and Jennifer. I just wrote a note to you today, Jennifer. And Denise is here too. So is Shannon. Good to see you all. Heather's here. Yay. There's my girl, Amy. Good to see you, Amy. And Eileen is here as well. Hello, Beverly. She's been showing up on a daily basis. Good to see you, Beverly. And Susan too. There's my girl, Marguerite. Hi, Midnight. That's my kitty cat, by the way, my kitty cat fan. There's Kathy and Lizzie. Hello, and Diane's here. Julie's got her pinkies up. There's my girl, Emily. And Sandra. Good to see you all. Look at you all coming in. It's Wise Women's Wednesdays. Who's ready for this day? Who's ready for fun? You know, Catherine's here. Good to see you. There's my girl Joanne. She's always here. I can count on Joanne. Cynthia's here. So's Lucy. Yay. They're out fixing, if you hear things in the background, they're out fixing my air conditioner. Not that we have it on, but you know, isn't it so nice? It's in the 70s. I've got a little ceiling fan going, a nice air flowing. I feel very blessed to be here. Very blessed indeed. So there you go. Carla got her hot milk mix. Yay! I hope you guys took advantage of that sale last week because it was a killer sale. We blasted through so much. We still have some in the shop, but that deal is gone, y'all. Deal is gone. We had to buy 3, get 1 free, set you up basically for at least half a year. Good stuff. You know, the more I'm reading about electrolytes, the more I'm just like, this is what we need. Because, you know, we get stressed out. It also helps to calm adrenal function. You know, there's so many things to it. Yay! You can sip on it throughout the day if you want to, or you can drink it all at once, Marianne. You know, here's how this is how we work it, all right? I'm telling you, I use a little vitamin C powder in there too. I just bought some Vitacost, I think, from Amazon. This is what Marla actually gave it to me. I had it in my cart, but she gave it to me because you know how she is. She's just like that. And it just, so it's that and the electrolytes, and it's amazing. It makes you feel good, you know? It makes you feel good. Yes. Yeah, we will have that sale again. You know, Amy, if you haven't taken advantage of that, just send me a note. We'll take it. We'll take care of you. Don't worry about it. But I do have something that you're really going to go nuts about because today is the first day, right now, it's the first day of our new sale. And this one I am so glad to put out because everybody went nutso when I introduced Leptofix last time and told you about it. But what you don't know is we have a combo. It's called the Appetite Control Kit. You know, I put this together myself and I'm telling you, this is one of the ones. It has Leptofix in it and it has Crave Crusher in it. These two, and they're just, what can I tell you? They're the bomb.com. You take Leptofix in the morning on an empty stomach, okay? That goes without saying. On an empty stomach, that's how it gets to work and start fixing your Leptofix. My desk looks pretty good, Patricia Ann. I cleaned it up a little bit. Well, the big one, the one that I'm sitting on, I had to really do a number on. Now, the Crave Crusher works on those cravings that you have during the day. And let me just tell you, you take 4 of these, 4. And you know what? I used to split the dose and now not anymore. No, I take 4 of them at a time because they go to work and do a sustained thing. the L-glutamine, which is back in the shop, by the way, and this is how you use L-glutamine. And if you don't have L-glutamine, why? This is what gets rid of cravings on contact. You just put it in, it goes right to that pleasure center and cuts that thing off right at the knees. I love this. This is instantaneous. It's when you're hankering and jonesing for some sugar or some carbs or something else, even cigarettes or booze or meth, you know, it just works that way. But for sustained thing, Crave Crusher all the way. And to get your hunger hormones back in place, Leptofix all the way. These two together already are 10% off. And then if you buy 3, we'll put a 4th set for you free in your cart. Put ships free in your little promo code window there, and we will ship it to you free as long as you live here in the United States. And let me just say this. I wouldn't be without these guys. They're my favorite. I use all of these tools myself. You know, supplements can be tools. Supplements can help move the needle in how you feel. Because how you feel about yourself and the things that you're able to accomplish are ridiculous. So that's also going to put you in the place of getting one of our new Mindful mugs. And I'm sorry it's backwards. I didn't flip it. But this is the latest version. And are you kidding? I'm delighted about this. I find this thing to be the cutest thing ever. Somebody said I need to start putting dates on them. I'm probably going to do that the next round. But, you know, we might come up with a different, fun and different design next time. You don't know what to expect from us, do you? But these are flying out the door. So if you want one, getting this little appetite control thing is going to really help. You'll find that right there in our store. You'll find it. And don't buy them separately. Buy them together, because that's where you get the 10% discount already on top of it. And then you'll buy 3, which is you'll get 3 sets of the, right? 3 sets. Yeah, and we'll throw the 4th one in for you free. Boop, boop. I think this is going to be a fun one. And it's going to go fast, so take advantage of it. Get on it. This is what we do. Also, don't forget that we have the 10-day blitz starting on Monday the 20th. If you want to be a part of that, you can get the guide free just by buying our collagen, which is called Perfect Paleo Protein. We have vanilla, chocolate, and unflavored. And if you're buying your Crave Crusher and Leptofix, your appetite control anyway, throw in your protein. You'll get it shipped free. You know, this is how we take advantage of things. Okay, Friday is Q&A. Don't forget that. Q&A. You know, on Fridays we answer a lot of questions, and so far we don't have a whole lot in. So I'm just saying, be those people who want those questions answered, because that's how you get your nutrition questions, your supplement questions, all the questions that you have cooking. I'll help you out with that too. This afternoon I'm going to be making it's called fat bread, and I'm using that to make hamburger buns. We're doing gourmet hamburger night with Marla and Robert. I have a hankering for a hamburger like no one's business. I don't want to go into the bun patrol because you know what? I lost 5 pounds on the sprint. I'm going to keep that off. And as much as I love me a good bun and every once in a while it's not a problem, I just want to keep going because I'm working on 15, so I've got 10 to go. Anyway, so here's the thing that you have to do. Is you need to try this recipe. It's called fat bread, and it's made out of mozzarella, it's made out of egg, and almond flour. Fat bread, F-A-T, fat bread. Yeah, you can Google it. It's everywhere. It's on all the keto sites and everything. And the recipe just makes like this weird dough. And what I do with it is I put that everything but the bagel seasoning on top, so it's like a really exotic bun. And then you make them into the shape of hamburger buns. And once they've cooled, you take a serrated blade, cut them in half. And honestly, they hold up. They hold up. They're crazy. I don't have the exact recipe on my person, but I will tell you, when I'm getting ready to go make it, I'm just going to Google it. That's how you find everything. It is fathead dough. You can use it for anything. You can use it, it's fathead. Okay, well, fat dough, fathead, whatever. Anyway, we I'm going to make this recipe today. I will show you. I'm going to have pictures of it. They'll probably end up on my Instagram feed. They'll probably end up here in Saving Dinner as well, because, you know, we put things out, pictures that you can see. But definitely take a look at it. You know, the thing is, every once in a while, you want something that you have on a normal basis, right? You want a normal hamburger. You don't want the lettuce, or you don't want to eat it with a fork. There's just something about having a bun. But there's also something about having that inflammation that I just don't want to pay the price for. And I know that eating for me anyway, eating a hamburger with a bun, even though it's just like a once in a while thing, it's a guaranteed 2 pounds the next morning. And it's just all that inflammation. It's not 2 pounds, I'm sure, of body fat, but why go there when you can do these? So I will share pictures. I'll get the recipe, all of that. Just pay attention, because it will be here. It will be on my Instagram feed. And heck yeah, let's do that. Our quote of the week is, "She who is good for making excuses is seldom good for anything else." And that's from our friend Ben Franklin. And he used he, of course, because back in those days, you know, being sexist was part of the thing, right? Sorry, but true. But I said she because that's who we are. We're a bunch of women. And we need that reminder that if we're making excuses, you know, what good are we? Because we're always looking for an out, right? And that shows you just exactly what our bone, or what is it, the word I'm looking for? What our backbone is made of. It's made out of wishbones. And wishbones aren't very strong and aren't very helpful. So let's not do that. Let's not take a look at that. I also had somebody asking me, by the way, who said, "What's this Hot Milk Club about?" I think we can still have a look. You can still see the webinar at savingdinner.com/webinar. Watch that and see if you want to join. We'll leave it up for another couple of days if it's not already down, but I don't know. Do I weigh every morning? I sure do. And I weigh naked after I've gone to the bathroom every single morning. I want to see where I am. It's kind of an indicator. It's not an indicator to tell me what I should feel about myself. It's an indicator to show me that what I ate the day before, how it's affecting me. Because inflammation is important. One of the things for us to get our health in order is to get our inflammation under control. So one of the things that drives me nuts is people say, it's just, you know, it's just inflammation, you know, it's just water weight or whatever. You know what I always say to that? I said, well, guess what? That water weight is attached to inflammation. That means you're getting inflammation out of your body, and your body's thanking you for that. Isn't that a good enough thing? I say, yeah. I said, let's get rid of that stuff. It's just incredible. So I was thinking about this today, and I was thinking about, you know, oftentimes I say, unplug from the emotion and get busy and get into the place of being analytical about something, which I think is pretty darn good advice, and it's really helped me out in the past, because I found myself in the place of feeling like, you know, I was overrun with emotion. I was giving emotion too much credibility. But here's the thing you need to understand is that our emotions are there for a reason, and sometimes they trigger something, sometimes they're doing something, sometimes they're running amok and out of control. But we're emotional beings. That's part of who we are. And it can be a part of our beautiful self as well. You know, the beautiful self that houses our empathy and our intuition, our knowing, the Holy Spirit, the way we know in our souls, in our hearts and souls about things. Emotions can be all that, but they can also just be these crazy, out of control, like wild 3-year-olds throwing temper tantrums on the floor in Target. They can, especially if we've really never thought about what are our emotions trying to teach us, because emotions can be teachers, and wise women understand that. Wise women understand that emotions can teach. Emotions can dictate and show us a path for something that we need to go searching for. They can also show us that we're out of control in some area. They can show us that we've kind of lost our way. They can show us that we need to grow up. Have you ever had that where you just said, ooh, I need to grow up. I've just been out of control here. I have been doing the wrong things and I'm acting so ridiculous. Have you ever had that where you just feel that, self-condemnation? I have, because I've figured at times things just triggered me, and just made me just really angry. And, one of those things that really makes me angry and makes me just fly, and I've got to calm myself down with, is when people say things like, shame on you for whatever. And they say that to me. And I'm just like, ugh, the claws are out and I just want to go after them and eviscerate them, Because as a child, I was shamed. And as a kid, I was bullied. And all of those emotions just come roaring back. They keep roaring back. But you know what? I've also know that now. I know that, and instead of that, I will say something about it, because I will not let that go by without, them knowing that your comment not only is unhelpful, it's hurtful and it's wrong, and we don't do that here. But I'll also, at that point, take that energy that is come from that emotion and redirect it. Because that's the whole key to emotions, in my opinion. And I've got 5 things that I think are really going to help you when this emotional upheaval comes. Because sometimes that emotional upheaval comes and it also paralyzes you and it stops you in your tracks and it makes you think, I can't do anything, and all of that. Let's take this apart. Let's take a look at what emotions are and what they're not. Because emotions are part of who we are. It's part of our DNA. It's part of who we, it's how we express ourselves, right? But emotions that are run amok and emotions that have never been really dealt with or thought about or deconstructed are emotions that can lead us into places we don't want to go. And you've heard me say this before, there are prisons full of people with no emotional control. Because that emotional control led them to go kill someone or rob a bank or do something ridiculous that ended up costing them their freedom. So we need to be controllers of our emotions to the degree that it's going to serve us instead of paralyze us. So what's the first thing that we can do? The first thing that we can do is we can recognize that perspective is everything, even when it comes to emotion. I've shared this story before, and I think it's a good one, because it just goes to show you how perspective can change our belief system. It can change what we're thinking about. It can change our emotions. It can change our whole state on what we feel about ourselves. But perspective is something that is in place because of a belief. It's in place because of what we're looking at. So a long time ago, I'm saying about 3 or 4 months ago, when we didn't have any leaves on the trees, Mark and I were outside standing on our deck. And on our deck, we have this wonderful view. I've shared my view for you 100 times. It's just glorious, with this view of the Blue Ridge Parkway. And it's just an incredible view. We're way up here on the top of a ridge, and we get to see this on a daily basis. People come all out of the country from everywhere to take a look at this, and it really is beautiful. But this view, also, up here, we get things like pileated woodpeckers. Those are the great big woody woodpeckers. They're 18 inches tall. They're beautiful, and they're rare, and they're hard to see it, They're hard to see. But here's what you can do. If you are listening, you can start looking for them, and you can see them pecking on these dead trees. Well, I'm standing on the deck, and I said, Mark, look, 12 o'clock, you can see this pileated woodpecker. Well, he's looking, he goes, I don't see it, I don't see it. I said, it's right there at 12 o'clock. He's standing right next to me, and he can't see it. Then finally I took him, and I said, stand here, right where I was, and come down a few inches, because he's, 6'2", he's a little taller than I am. And I said, now at 12 o'clock. And he says, now I see it. And that's just what it is. Because emotionally, we can get charged up from seeing things only from our perspective. We don't see it from our spouse's perspective. We don't see it from our children's perspective. We don't see it from anyone's perspective, just our own. And if you're willing to look at your perspective as, well, that's what you're seeing, but that might be might need to be a little switch or a little change in how we're seeing things. Because if we can see it this way, and we can bring people into our place to be able to see what we are seeing, then we're there. But if they can't see it, then we need to understand that it is just our perspective. And that, in and of itself, if you can unplug from it and just say, I'm good with seeing things this way, but I'm also good with seeing things their way, because they have their own perspective. They have their own perspective. And this happens, with politics and religion and all of that. I mean, it has to. Otherwise, how do we get along with people? We could be those polarizing people that all we can do is see things our own way and have such rigid beliefs and such rigid perspectives that we're prickly about anything else, and we don't give a fig about anyone else, and we don't give any kind of credence or any kind of empathy or any kind of give that maybe there are other perspectives and other beliefs out there in the world. I have noticed in my lifetime, and I get to throw down the age card on that one. I'm 62 years old. I've seen a few things. I've had arguments with folks about this very thing. And you know what I'm going to say to you? I am always willing to be wrong, and I'm always willing to agree that there are other perspectives. Does that mean that I need to change and be a chameleon for everybody else? Absolutely not. But it does mean that I need to give grace, I need to give credence, I need to give empathy, and I need to give a whole lot of love from the different perspectives. It's not about making people see things your way. If you're doing that, you're spending a lot of emotional energy on stuff that's never going to change, Just go ahead and have a political discussion in the United States right now. I promise you it will get you nowhere fast. And as a matter of fact, it'll probably, devolve into something you don't want to go to. So give grace, give room, and change your perspective as necessary, and be willing to do that, but also give grace for others with their perspective. Put your emotion into the things that count, not the things that don't count. Number 2, emotions can be your fuel for change. I have a story that maybe you've heard before, maybe you haven't, but I'll share it. And that was, I had a woman in my life who she just seemed like she had everything together. And my whole thing was, I remember when I met her, and this is a long time ago, and I remember crying and thinking, why can't I be more like her? She's got her whole life, she's got everything together. Everything in her life is perfect. Well, you know what that is, right? That's envy. That's envy, and that's self, flagellation and beating yourself up for something that you're not exactly like this person. Well, let me just say this, that when we go into the compare place, we know that we're going to rob ourselves of all joy that's there, but we also have an opportunity to flip that envy and say, you know what, if she did it, so can I. And to take that emotion and to take that and have that be the fuel for you to say, you know what, I'm going to be just like fill in the blank, whomever, who is getting it done, who is getting results, who is doing this. And instead of comparing yourself and robbing yourself of all joy, you're using it as fuel to get you on that same track. Because obviously, if she's getting results and you're not, she's doing something right. So instead of comparing and getting all wrapped up in envy and saying, well, or excusing, well, she doesn't have kids, or she's got all the time in the world. Well, if you had endless money, you could do it too. If you did this, blah, on, right? That emotion that we feel, though, is the fuel that we can direct and redirect into completing what it is that we want in our lives anyway. How do you like that? How do you like that? Isn't that just, doesn't that give you joy? Because it just makes you say, it's not denying that that emotion exists. It's saying, you know what, I'm going to use this for good. I'm not going to use it for evil against myself. I'm going to take the power of that emotion. It's like taking batteries out of a toy that's broken, perfectly good batteries, and putting it into a toy that does work. That's all. Think about that. Because we want that fuel. We want that fuel. We want what it is that we want. We have our eye on it anyway. How about taking that envy and turning it into something to say, I want to do it too. She's on to something. I get it. Fun, right? And it also gives us, number 3, is greater awareness of who we are and what we're about. Wow, that triggered me. That emotion came up, and I'm thinking about those things, or I'm feeling bad about this, or, whatever it is. I had to jump back when I was telling you about shame. I had to really take a look at that. What's that about? Well, what it was about was I had a history of people shaming me. I had a history of that, and it just stirred a big emotional pot. So yeah, while we can take that and, like I said, redirect it, we can also understand that this emotion is triggering and telling us something's up. Take a look at this, girlfriend. Maybe this is something that needs to be fixed. Maybe you need to work this emotions out. Maybe you need to go talk to somebody. Maybe you need to put it into your journal and let it be a thing to instigate change. We all have this in our lives. I'm not alone. I know you have this. I know you have this going on too. And then number 4 is we have to look at this. This is the impetus for greater problem solving. You ever thought about that? It taps into your fight or flight. And you can either do this and take this, like I said, into a way that's just going to be absolutely damaging for you. Or you can take it into a place that is going to work on your behalf. And you're also going to see and start appreciating this person that maybe you were comparing yourself with. You're just going to start appreciating, well, what's she doing? It's going to put you into problem solving. Instead of comparing, it's going to make you say, she's getting results, and I was getting all wrapped up in this emotion of thinking I wasn't as good as her. She had all of this, and then rationalizing why I couldn't do it too. But let's problem solve here. What's going on? Am I doing the things that I say that I want to do? Am I in alignment? Yesterday's show. Am I in alignment with my belief system and my action system? Is that it all in alignment? What can I do here? How can I see what she's doing and use what she's doing for my own good? When we see that, we start to understand that there's possibilities here. And number 5 is flip this emotion, flip it out. And instead of letting it paralyze you and stop you in your tracks, allow it to empower you. Now, I told you, a story about empowering. When this is in the 80s, y'all. This is way back when, in the olden days, when I was a young thing selling title insurance. When I had the title insurance job, I was told by my boss that at no time would I ever be able to get to the place of making a sale in the first month. No one's ever done that before. So guess what I did? Instead of saying, oh, okay, whatever, and accepting that, I used that as the power to go out and make sure that I got an order. And as a matter of fact, I didn't just get one, I got 2. And I understand what he was saying. It's all about creating, relationships and what have you, but I made it my point, and my whole life's goal is to connect with people and make relationships happen. And it just so happened that I walked into a place where a woman who was a loan processor, and she had all these refinance loans going on in Downey Savings and Loan, if you remember that, way back in the day, in Southern California, and she was just like really unhappy with her title company. And I said, let me help you out with that. What can I do? And she said, well, I'll give you a couple, give you a try and see what happens. And I said, well, you got it. I'll be all over it like white on rice. And guess what? Got those 2 orders. And that put me on a different path than just being paralyzed, because I used the power of somebody telling me, no, it can't happen. It's never happened before, to say, oh, yes, it will. Yes, I can. And yes, I will. And I did, because I flipped it. Instead of allowing it to paralyze me, I allowed it to empower me. And that's what I want to say to you. Do you want to be paralyzed or empowered? Do you want to be the wise woman who takes all of this, takes all of this emotion and redirects it into powerful living in your favor instead of against you. Sometimes we just have to unplug from the whole thing. I'm not going to lie to you. You have to unplug from the whole thing and take an analytic look at what the heck is going on here. You get it? You know, when you can see, hey, this is what's going on. This is what it is. This is what, you know, this is what's happening here. I'm getting all wrapped up. I'm starting to hand wring. I'm in this thing. And instead of doing that, you go to the place of allowing that emotion to not only teach you, but to then plug it back in when you figured out a pathway and now allow it to empower you. But sometimes you just have to unplug from the whole thing and just take a step back and say, what the heck is going on here? You know, our emotions aren't something we should be ashamed of or dismiss or pretend they aren't there. They're there, you know, but sometimes we have to take a break from them. And we have to look at what the heck they're teaching us. They are teachers. And hopefully, if we learn our lesson well, we can take this lesson and put it in the experience file and stop living it on a daily basis, because that becomes Groundhog's Day. And that becomes the over and over and over again thing. We don't want to do that. Emotions are teachers, though. They're teachers. They've got something for you. Allow them to show you what it is. Use your journal. Use your tools. Get a body clutter buddy. Start being present with what's going on and don't dismiss it. They're there for a reason. They're not bad. They're good things, and they teach us. How about that? What do you think? You ready to do that? You ready to get it on? And are you ready to, this week, to really rock your plan? I'm telling you, we start on Monday. Go to savingdinner.com/blitz. The guide is $27, but not if you buy our Perfect Paleo Protein. Then you're going to get the guide absolutely free. We're thrilled about that. And also, if you're smart, take advantage of the Appetite Control Pack. Leptafix in the morning on an empty stomach to get your leptin controlled so you can have an appetite. And then the second part, control this business all day long. I'm telling you what, we got to get our appetites under control. We can rule the world. That's also part of the emotional thing involved, right? We get wrapped up in the emotions of food, the emotion of eating, the emotion of feeling under control. We got to use our tools. That's it. We got to use our tools. Norma says pinkies up. There you go. Yeah, this is one you want to take notes for, especially if the stuff is, you know, we deal with shame. We deal with these emotions that come up from, you know, a million people that we're friends with. Pinkies up, Lizzie, and welcome, by the way. When we say pinkies up, this is kind of our power call, our promise to ourselves to be those women. We want to be women who our word is our bond. We want to be women who follow through. We want to be wise women. And we're on a quest here. We're on a quest to go right through and to get the lives we want. Vibrant, exciting, wringing every juicy bit out of it. That's what we want. I want that. I want it every single day. And every single day I wake up and I say, today is going to be a great day. I'm going to get things done. I'm going to do everything on my list. I am on it. I believe it. And I have gratitude every single day. And I share with you how to use a journal and all of that in my workshop on that. Another thing. Life is so good, you guys. It is so good. Grab it by the horns. I want you in. Are you in it? You got your pinkies up? I know you do. Because our pinkies up, that's a battle cry. We're in it to win it. We're in it to take back our lives. We're in it to take back our bodies. We're in it to live our most vibrant life ever. That's what we do here. And we have a big fat community. Well, sorry, I shouldn't say big fat. Never. We have a big community that would welcome you in. And yes, you can sprint and then you can blitz. I'm going to be blitzing on Monday. It's easy and it's so fun and it's pretty delicious too, I might add. So there's my girls with all the pinkies. I'm telling you what, if you're a part of this community, then you know. we will send it to you. Marguerite just was asking how does she get her Blitz plan. It will be sent to you in an email. So watch for it, support@savingdinner.com. And just make sure you whitelist that, take it on, because we want that. And don't forget too, you've got, if you're gonna join us on that and you wanna get the appetite control bundle, do that. Don't forget, ships free, goes into the promo window, and you're also gonna be getting this lovely cup. Mindful mug. I love it. And I love you guys, and I so appreciate you. Thank you for showing up. You know, what does showing up tell me? Showing up tells me you are in it. Showing up tells me that you mean business. And for that, I will give you everything I've got, and I'll have your back too. Peace out, y'all. I appreciate you, and peace be with you.